Sadistic Penguin Studios presents the At the Show podcast with Tom Yumper Garcia.
Okay, you people sit tight, hold the fort, and keep the home fires burning. And if we're not back by dawn, call the president.
And Tony Chalsa Burt.
I don't know this industry jargon, YP, MP, whatever, okay? All I know is that I cannot get a record contract. We cannot get a record contract unless I take these tapes.
It's almost time, so grab a drink, get your popcorn ready, and join the film discussion with two guys from Chicago talking movies.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the At the Show podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Tom Yumper Garcia, and I'm with my other co-host, Tony, the Sugar Baggy Burt. How you doing, Mr. Burt?
Doing really good tonight. How are you doing, my man?
I am doing excellent. I just ate like a madman. So I got a full belly and a head full of thoughts. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, my friend.
Well, I can't wait to unleash, well, at least the thoughts tonight.
Well, hey, you gotta unleash something.
Yes.
So we got a packed show for you guys tonight. We're going back to back. We went back to back to past 2 weeks, and since it's Oscar night on Sunday, we had to get in our annual Oscar show. We're gonna go in through a few categories and give our predictions, talk some films, give us the Sugar Baggy soundtrack pick of the week, and talk some rumors that's been going on in the movie industry that I found interesting. Tone, man, this has been a crazy week. The good thing is nobody that we love and beloved has passed in the movie industry. It seems like every week we have a show, somebody has died. That's a good thing. But yeah, man, it's Oscar week, always a big time, especially around my household. I know around your household. When did you really get into the Oscars?
Well, my mom was really big into the Oscars. She used to tell me about parties she'd have in the 80s with like her friends, Oscar parties. So like as a kid, I grew up kind of with the Oscars being like as important as the Super Bowl, even though at the beginning I was kind of like oblivious. I kind of remember some of the earlier bigger moments, but as it went along, I don't think if I've missed any, it was not by choice. So it is something that is important. And I know that's what's awesome is that you, honestly, I actually thank you because you're like, let's do the show next week and for the Oscars. And I was about to say, well, we could do it, wait 2 weeks. And then before I spoke, I looked up online when it was. I'm like, it's Sunday already? So thank you for even bringing it closer to my attention because I almost pushed it to April. And it's cool. It's Sunday.
Yeah, to be honest, I was like, man, when is the Oscars this year? And I'm like, oh man, we have to do it back to back. So I'm like, can we do that back to back? But yeah, man, I really got into the Oscars. I think, it was actually the year Jurassic Park won for visual effects. When they had the dinosaur give the Oscar envelope. That was pretty cool. Cool. But I've always watched it. To be honest with you, even though it's a depressing moment, I always love the in memoriam. I think they do justice a lot to allow the past actors and performers. And plus, Conan O'Brien's hosting it this year, so I think it'd be kind of fun.
Big Conan O'Brien fan, and I think he stated that they got something really big planned for Rob Reiner in that in memoriam section, so should be good. Yeah.
But with that, Tom, let's just go into our first segment, my man. Let's go into what we've been watching this past week, my friend.
All right.
That's a me. And also, what were you just watching?
So what were you watching this week, Tom?
All right. 2 movies I've been watching here. First movie is Tequila Sunrise, which first came out in 1988. Second, I always liked the title for some reason. And the box of this movie, when I saw it was I was young. And of course, our main man, Kurt Russell, is in it, playing a cop who is going to try to catch his friend, which is a sleazebag in Mel Gibson, who in real life happens to sometimes play the same role all the time, if you happen to look even closer. But that even being said, is that Raul Julia is in this movie, and we don't talk about Raul Julia enough, and he's been in so many awesome movies, and I really like his role in this movie because he plays friends with Mel Gibson. Um, but also Kurt Russell, being that he grew up with Mel Gibson's character in the movie, never really arrests him, always trying to step behind. And the beautiful Michelle Pfeiffer kind of rounds out the cast in a really awesome way. So, definitely a movie if you have not checked it out.
Yeah, Blast from the Past. I haven't heard this one in a while. The good thing is, Raul Julia gives a great performance, like you said. Just an underappreciated actor. I think he got his flowers for the Addams Family and like was the best part of the Street Fighter movie.
Mhm.
But a remarkable stage actor. He actually celebrated he would have celebrated his birthday this week. Um,
Interesting. That's
yeah,
awesome.
which is kind of cool that you picked him. But really good underrated movie.
The second movie I picked was a movie called State of Grace from 1990, starring an Academy Award winner that we will be talking about here soon, and Sean Penn. But pretty much a crime movie that takes place, which is crazy because it came out exactly around the same time as Goodfellas. So it often gets overshadowed, of course, and rightfully so at times by it. But it takes place in Hell's Kitchen, in New York City, which pretty much has to do a lot more with the Irish side of the mob. Really cool performances by everybody involved. Gary Oldman is really awesome in this movie, as is Sean Penn and Ed Harris, who I think is an underrated actor. Even John C. Riley is in the movie, but really good performances all around. A really interesting take again on the gangster. It all in just the gangster lifestyle. All is what it's about. John Turturro's in it too. But really a good picture. Have you seen this one yet?
Yes, I actually watched it. I think a couple years ago on your recommendation.
Mhm.
Um, I've always wanted to watch. I just never did. But like Gary Oldman steals the show in this film. He is just remarkable, and it kind of shows you like he's so great. He's like we always say. I always say that Tim Curry is like one of the best character actors. When you talk about character, Gary Oldman is a character actor, like a phenomenal, not just like a great thespian in terms of acting, but he changes his accent to the point where he doesn't even remember his original accent. But in this film, he is awesome. He's always good playing those short fuse type of people. He did it really great in this film. He does a really great job in The Professional, even though that movie has like weird undertones. His character in that film is remarkable. This film has like a all-star group of actors with Sean Penn and Ed Harris and John Turturro as the other cop. I loved everything about this movie. The only thing that I was like, oh, was this the cliffhanger ending at the end? But I thought the movie was really, really done very well.
Sometimes that's how it is with movies. The whole movie
Mhm.
could be good, and then they throw in an ending, and you're like, could have did it a little bit better. But Sean Penn does a great job, and definitely, if you haven't seen this one, check it out. I'm interested to talk about one of your two movies here, but you go ahead and introduce them.
Yeah, so the first movie I watched is a movie that I happened to was cleaning out my DVDs, organizing them. As you can see, this office down here it has so many damn Funkos that need to go out for selling and stuff like that. That's been going on. So I was rearranging my DVDs and I saw Killzone, which is a Donnie Yen film. It's a Cantonese film that's overseas. One of the big reasons that I like this film so much is that it has Sammo Hung in it. For those who don't know who Sammo Hung is, he's one of the biggest Asian stars over in Asia.
Mm,
With Donnie Yen, this is when he was starting to really cut his teeth in being superstardom. So you have two martial artists. Sammo Hung is also a big boy. So him being a big boy is also awesome that he can move and whatnot. They have an epic fight in it where Donnie Yen's actually a cop and Sammo Hung's a leader of a cartel. But everybody always talks about the fight in the alleyway with Donnie Yen and Jung Woo with a sword. Just awesome fight. All the movies that Donnie Yen's in has such great choreography. If you look up on anybody's martial art list about fights, this movie always comes up in the top 10 due to that one fight. And it has this twist ending at the end that you're like, holy crap, like what the hell is that? But just all around great film. Have you seen this one, Tone?
No, I have not. But as I told you the other night, I watched a Donnie Yen movie,
Mhm.
and honestly, again, like if because of you, I've definitely am interested to check this one out because there's a lot, there's a lot of them, and I want to watch them all. So I'll definitely gonna watch this one.
Yeah, I actually I have a copy. I can just give you an extra copy.
Oh,
Um,
awesome. Cool.
yeah,
I'll watch it even quicker then. So let's push for it.
it's a great film to have, great film to watch when you have, if you're into the old martial arts like cop movies. The other film I watched was on your recommendation too, and I had to see it because looking at it, I didn't really know what to think about it watching the trailer that plays. Brawl in Cell Blocks 99 with Vince Vaughn. Before I go into like everything, I will say that Vince Vaughn, there's two things that got me about Vince Vaughn in this film. One, his southern accent goes in and out, but it's not really that bad. But I love his character, but I hate the fact they gave him this cross in the back of his head. It's the stupidest damn thing. Like, you know what I mean? It's just so stupid. Besides that, this movie is balls to the wall. Like, I love this movie. It starts off kind of slow, and then it basically goes on a roller coaster ride of him having to do something to save his family while in jail, and it just progressively getting worse and worse. I wrote a opinion on Letterboxd for this, and it really reminded me of Dante's Inferno, or Divine Comedy, because you damned if you do and damned if you don't kind of mentality he had to do. Great 1970s grindhouse gore, paper mache up the ass in terms of like stepping on people's faces and stuff like that. And Vince Vaughn actually looked the part besides that stupid thing in the back of his head. He put on a lot of muscle. I loved the movie, the way the movie went, and it wasn't a lot of big name people in it, but I enjoyed it. Also, you got my man from Miami Vice in there as well, as the warden.
Oh yeah.
But what'd you think of it, Tom?
Definitely, as you stated, everything was I would agree with. I always wanted if we owned a movie theater, I thought it would be good back to back with Shot Caller. Got a really cool vibe that, and you had absolutely every right when I first told you about it. When you're like, I don't know, Vince Vaughn, because what are you going to think? He's been playing this kind of goofy character in movies for such a long time, but he does a great job. And the director's follow-up to this movie, it's called Dragged Against the Concrete. It's him and Mel Gibson. It's a little longer, but still, it's grindhousey and it's different for who this guy is. But I'm glad you checked it out.
Yeah, and it says on your poster, Bone Tomahawk, that is going into the 2026 31 Days of Horror. I have that actually penciled in. That's actually a movie with Kurt Russell in it, that deals with indigenous like vampires or zombies. I can't remember. I have to watch it again. But it's actually really gory too. And I don't know, just the style of this brought me back to something like I would watch in the early days. Even though you could tell it was like paper mache, it still had like this pleasant like I guess nostalgia look to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was ridiculous what he was doing, but it wasn't gory to the point where you're like, ugh. It was more like it was kind of funny, but yet, you know what I mean?
Well, that's what they were like. It was really going over the
Yeah.
top, but it worked for the most part.
Yeah. But yeah, if you haven't checked it out, I watched it on Prime. If you have Prime, you can watch it. Definitely a good film to check out.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's what we've watched this week. Let us know what you watched over at the Show podcast on Twitter or on Facebook at Statistic Penguin Studios or in this YouTube comment section. So moving on to some rumors, Tone. I sent you a rumor that I thought was really interesting, and supposedly, this is also from I believe Media Critic and Culture Crave, they came out with a tweet saying that Arnold Schwarzenegger is actually in talks to possibly reprising the role of Dutch for the Predator series. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, we've talked about Prey, we've talked about the follow-up. And now it's the director of those movies who wants Arnold back. So I mean, I'm all game. It doesn't sound like it's some cheap ploy. Obviously, he's got some idea. Real quick before we go back to this, I'm worried more of Arnold being in a new Conan the Barbarian movie, because they also said that, and
Mhm.
a Commando. So I don't know about those two, but you could definitely pencil me in for this one if the director of Prey's involved.
Commando, I don't know what he would be doing, but I know the Conan film. I think he's actually going to be the dad of the new Conan.
Okay, that could make sense. I just hope
Um,
he's not like the main guy out there moving the sword around.
so when a couple years ago, I don't know if you remember, they came out with this game called Predator Badlands,
Mhm.
or Plague Battlegrounds or something like that. The Badlands is the movie. And it wasn't really a great game, but you basically like play against soldiers against the Predator or vice versa. You were a Predator that killed the soldiers. Um, there was unlockables, I guess, in this game. I never played it, but I did watch the unlockables, and it was actually Arnold actually recorded voiceover, like tapes that you would find as Dutch, and basically it turns out that from that nuclear blast from the Predator at the end, when we see him all covered with the ash, it actually made him de-age.
Really?
So he didn't really age as quickly. I think he was in his 90s and felt like he was in his early 60s, still pumping iron and whatnot. It caused his like age rate to, regress a little bit. So that was kind of cool. If they do something like that where he's like tied in, I would be really interested in it. I just don't want to. I love the fact that they have the Predator's like point of view. If somehow he's in there as a prisoner to his mom, the Predator main character's mom, that'd be kind of cool. Um, but we just gotta see how they do with it. I mean, it's crazy that all this stuff is coming out about them wanting to bring him back, and then you have Sylvester Stallone going on Twitter and Instagram saying he's producing a new Rambo. The early years, he's not going to beat Rambo, but he's producing it,
You're right.
and I'm like, why didn't they just do that before? But then again, wasn't Rambo 2 kind of like the prequel?
Well, they're always trying to just get more. He's trying to stretch the buck. And
Mhm.
honestly, in Arnold's case with Predator, that's a good thing. In Rambo's case, the last movie he made as Rambo, it was really it was it wasn't the best. So like he just I wouldn't give him in charge of much of anything. Like if it was some new guy coming along trying to reboot the series, the problem is I think not Arnold, Sly, like he's a very big control. He likes a lot of
Mhm.
control, which is Arnold seems a little bit more willing to work with other people. So that's why Arnold's, I think, had always a little bit better of a career. I could be wrong on that reason.
uh, yeah, I kind of agree with that. And looking at like their movies going forward, like you have Arnold in the Expendables. He's still trying to do a lot of the crazy stuff. Uh, like I'm not Arnold. Sly in the Expendables. Arnold kind of he still plays that action hero, but he plays it kind of more his age, like The Last Stand when he played a old sheriff, and then in Sabotage when he was the old time
That's an awesome movie.
yeah, that is a really good movie. Like Command Leader, he
Yeah.
still showed that he was an older dude, um, which I think is like good to his charm because I mean he's fit the most 78-year-old men.
Yeah.
But also he's 78. You know what I mean? He's not. I don't want to ever see Arnold do the Robert De Niro stomp from The Irishman. you know,
No, you don't. You don't want to see that
I don't
stuff.
want to see Arnold in de aging. I want to see Arnold as Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes the most sense for him. He's always he's been very good with his career choices for the most part. So hopefully I have trust in that and him and his team. So and with a good director, like you said, and
Mhm.
it'll be good.
Yeah, man. So some crazy rumors that the two big blockbuster action stars of our lifetime have come out and want to do something else, which I thought was
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But with that tone, that's the news and rumors section. Unless you have anything that you would like to talk about.
Not too much. All I was going to say, really, which I found ridiculous, is parents. There's a lot of parents who are in an uproar over this new movie that came out this past weekend called Hoppers. Have you heard of this new movie with? It's got. It's like, I think they're beavers or wood. I think they're beavers is what they are, or woodchucks, or there's something along those lines.
Uh-huh.
But there's one of those where the messages might be a little too serious, some parents are saying, for their kids, which could be ridiculous in some cases. But I always just find it but the movie actually grossed very, very well. So the complaints weren't heard at the box office quite as bad as they were heard for what was the other movie? Oh, yes, the Frankenstein movie, which I was going to talk about really quick here with Christian Bale, which honestly, I really want to see. I think it looks interesting to me, but $8 million is all it did on an $80 million budget, which is a big ouch, which is just a shame because it looks like they put a lot of hard work into it.
Yeah, and I think for the Frankenstein film, I think it's just fatigue. I mean, you had Del Toro with the Frankenstein film this year, and then you had another Frankenstein film on top of that, and now you have this one that came out, and I'm really interested in seeing it. I want to see the performances in it. I'm a big Bale guy. I think it will be excellent. Hopefully, it catches on fire in the rental and streaming market to make back some of that money.
Yeah.
But in terms of like hoppers, like parents, I understand, we live in a different age or where we have to protect our kids from certain things. But and you can ask anybody, I'm as far left as they come. But when it comes to stuff like this, like I grew up with the damn Ninja Turtles movie, the first one, which was the best. Like I saw that in theaters.
I'm with you on everything. I lean with you on pretty much most things, and this one just seems to be a little much.
Yeah, just let it be a film. Like it's not that serious, yo.
Take it, and hypothetically speak, you go take your kids. You didn't like the movie, just leave it like that. You didn't like it. Tell your kids, talk to them about the part you didn't like, and let it go. But
yeah,
what I'm hearing is there's backlash, and we're going to start picketing and stupid stuff like that. Save your energy for other pickets.
Yeah, more important stuff than a movie about beavers.
Because I got some movies in the closet about no, I'm just kidding.
like 8mm movies?
Yes. Now you got me thinking like Nicolas Cage. Never mind.
No, that's actually good stuff to talk about because you know, I don't know. I just think there's more important causes than a beaver movie to complain about.
And I agree. I mean, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, there's one person who would say, taking me to go see Pulp Fiction when I was 12 was a bad idea. And then there's other people that say I wouldn't be doing the show with you if I wasn't taking to go see Pulp Fiction when I was 12 because I wouldn't have loved movies as much as I did. I didn't go to movies to try to find. That's what's weird. If that's what people are doing is trying to go to movies to watch the weird parts, then they're weird. I didn't go to movies to purposely see boobs. I could watch other movies for that. Like I went to the movies to watch good movies. I never picked up, like, you didn't see me with my friends running around after I saw the movie pretending with guns to be like Samuel L. Jackson because I knew my dad would light me up. So, and that's pretty much, but we live in different times now, and I get.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different times. I get that, but also we can't be as sensitive.
No, not to
especially when,
heart.
I mean, it's one thing if like the beaver's going and like chopping people's heads off and they're considering it's a kid movie. It's a damn. Like a scientist gets their mind into a beaver.
Well,
like, come on,
can't change your mind. That's bad.
I guess I don't know.
I know.
Be better, people.
Yes, I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I have not heard that, but knowing if I had, I would have texted you. I'm like, this is some BS.
I know. I was just maybe jumping ahead when you do. Don't get too mad now because I like the blow.
No, but that's our news and rumors section. Tone. Let's just get this rolling, man. Let's go into our first Oscar category, my guy.
Let's go.
So we're gonna start off with the writing original screenplay, where the nominees are Blue Moon, written by Robert Kaplow, I Was Just an Accident, written by Jafar Panaki. Script collaborators on that were Nadar Savar, Shabir Rastin, and Mehdi, I can't say, Mahadaman, I think I say. Marty Supreme, written by Ronald Bronston and Josh Saldi. Sentimental Value, written by Eskel Voigt and Jacqueline Tears. And Sinners, written by Ryan Kugler. Tone, first of all, these films, screenplay just goes into a dialogue and how the film comes together. So I thought all these films were excellent. I actually got to see all these films for Oscar season. Marty Supreme, I thought watching it was a film that was just going to be kind of boring because it's about ping pong. I actually enjoyed it a lot. Sentimental Value, another film that I enjoyed. Sinners, of course, we both enjoyed. This is a hard pick for me, man. What do you think about this?
Again, as you stated, all the picks are really, really good. It's when it comes to writing, it's a hard category to pick because generally, if the movie is being nominated, it's an excellent written film. So, and back to Marty Supreme, I'm a big fan of Uncut Gems. It had those same vibes because it had the same guy directing it. But I really, man, it's a tough call. Sentimental Value was really good, like you said, and so is Blue Moon. Honestly, for this one, I'm gonna go. I really like Sinners. I'm gonna go Sinners for this one, because it's just my style of movie. I'm just gonna say that it's a really excellently written movie. And it's just not to say there's nothing against Blue Moon because it was only written by one person, but something to me is always magical when a movie's just written by one person, directed by one person. There's a lot of effort that goes into that. And to get it to go this far, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and Blue Moon is directed by Richard Linklater, who did Everybody Wants Some, and I think he did he does a lot of your films that you
Is
like.
it confused?
Days of Confused, yeah. Bernie.
Yeah, what's the one that we talked about before? You talked about it. It's with Robert Downey Jr. It's kind of Scanner Darkly.
Scanner Darkly.
Good one.
Yeah, real good one. That's a excellent film about the opening night of Oklahoma, and Broadway musicals. To be honest with you, it's tough for me because I really like it's the last three. The last actually, Marty Supreme, Sinners, and It Was Just an Accident, which is a foreign film, and it's about Iranian prisoners. I loved all three of them. My goodness, Marty Supreme. I would have to go. See, I didn't. I wanted to do this live on the show to see what I would go with, and I'm probably gonna have to go with Sinners because I really enjoyed that film. So I will equal your enthusiasm on that. But It Was Just an Accident was excellent, and so was Marty Supreme. Very, very close seconds for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is always a hard thing to go back and try to pick because, like I said, they're all really good movies for all what they're worth. This is the first time I'm actually just going to go with my heart. Generally, I'm going to try to pick what I think is somebody else is going to pick, but I like Sinners, and I think it actually has a good chance, just by coincidence, of winning. I'm curious to see how it does on Sunday, just on its own.
Yeah, so am I. It's been nominated for the most Oscars, 16 in history. So, moving on, my guy. Now we're going to the adapted screenplay. Bergonia, screenplay by Will Tracy. Frankenstein, written for the screen by Guillermo del Toro. Hamnet, by Chloe Zhao and Maggie O'Farrell. One Battle After Another by Paul Thomas Anderson. And Train Dreams, screenplay by Clint Bentley and Greg Kuda. Is that how you say his name? Kuda?
Yeah, we'll say that.
Kuda or Queda. I'm sorry, Greg. I know you won't listen, but I'm sorry. For this one, it was actually more simpler for me. I had to go with Hamnet. I thought Chloe Zhao was very, very good directing, and I thought the film was very, very well done. Uh, Close second for me will probably be One Battle After Another. But for this one, I'm going Hamnet. What about you?
You know, I'm gonna go Begonia. Um,
Ooh.
and I'm not really. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a the biggest Yorgos fan of his films. I think sometimes, and I love weird. Sometimes there's just something about them. But this movie, I'm a really big fan of what's his name's dialogue. Jesse Plemons' dialogue in this movie. Um, I think it's could be the best out of everybody's out of all these movies. I just think it was a really good performance, and then the way the whole movie wraps up was really good. But as you stated, um, these other movies are no slouches. I mean, of course, One Battle After Another is really awesome. Hamnet is really, really good. I liked Frankenstein. I really, you know what I like in there is I like what's his name, Oscar Isaac.
Oh
I like
yeah,
how
man.
much he hams it up. I like a good hammed up performance, and he does a good job in that. But it's just always a tough pick, like we just said, and just because of how weird the movie is and how hard weird could be to transcribe into script, I'll go that route tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you to be honest with you, you really can't go wrong with the pick here. And like Brian says, he totally agrees with you for Plemons as an ace. He is. The crazy thing is, I am not really a big Shakespeare fan. I didn't like the Leonardo DiCaprio remake of Romeo and Juliet. I'm just not a huge thing of Shakespeare. I think I discussed this with Cotton on our last episode, Frame for Frame. It's just something I'm not really into. Um, but I watched this film because one, I always say I joke, Shakespeare, he probably wasn't a real guy. Everybody doesn't know he existed or not. But I just thought it was done very, very well. It's about the life with his wife. And I thought it was way better than that Shakespeare in Love film that won the Oscar over Saving Private Ryan. And I thought Chloe Zhao did a very, very good job. I thought One Battle After Another was excellent. Begonia is a very good film as well, with a crazy message in it. Train Dreams, another film that doesn't even get taken about a lot. uh, yeah, I prefer my Shakespeare to be loose interpretations. O is my favorite. um, but yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with whatever one you pick here. So, you got Begonia, I got Hamnet. Let's see who comes out on Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see in this one because everybody's got a different thing. But that Hamnet, though, you're right. It's a very interesting story, and very interesting as the way it was adapted into writing in the screenplay.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Let's move on to our next one, my friend. Now we have your specialty, your little specialty, music, original score. The nominees are Jess Jerkin Fedix for Begonia, Alexandra Desplat for Frankenstein, Max Ritchie's for Hamnet, Johnny Greenwood for One Battle After Another, and Ludwig Göransson for Sinners. Tone, take this one away, my man.
I am going to go with, because I'm a big fan of his band and his band's work and his work in this movie here. He did a really good job. Is One Battle After Another, Johnny Greenwood. I think he does a phenomenal job. It's really tough, though, because I really want to also go with Sinners. And I wouldn't be going wrong if I went with Begonia either. And, of course, Frankenstein had a good... It's really, again, this is a really tough category. Johnny Greenwood, though, I'll always go back to his There Will Be Blood. He did a really good score in that, and he works really well with Paul Thomas Anderson, so hopefully he can get some gold here. What are you doing?
Yeah, so Ludwig Göransson, I love a lot of stuff he does. He was in Oppenheimer. He did Oppenheimer with Christopher Nolan. He did that soundtrack, that score, which I really, really liked. He did Creed 2, which I really, really liked, as well as the Venom movie was actually had a pretty decent score for not a great film, but
Yeah.
it had a good score. And he did Tenet, which is some consider Christopher Nolan's worst film. Um, I like his stuff. I did like how he did Sinners. He's more of a funk, like techno kind of guy, but he did like the Sinners kind of like a blues, rock and roll kind of stuff in the 1920s.
He did a great job.
But Johnny Greenwood was just awesome in One Battle After Another. Like I know I built that up like I was on Pick Sinners. I have to go with Johnny Greenwood because I love the score for that film for One Battle After Another. I did like Sinners, but I just think that Johnny Greenwood just knocked it out of the park when he did his.
It's for the movie. I mean, what they're trying to portray on the screen. I'm not saying it's hard, but it seems to be not easy to score a movie like that compared to a Sinners. Because as you stated, getting that blues landscape is pretty easy because that's the background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm not gonna say his last name, but Ludwig. He, like I said, his stuff is mostly in kind of like techno funk kind of stuff, which I thought he did an excellent job in Sinners. It was totally like something that he's not.
Right.
That it was kind of a different side of him had shown. But I think Johnny Greenwood just was just awesome in for One Battle After Another. I love that soundtrack. The movie I thought was great, and I thought the soundtrack just added more to it. Sinners, I thought the film was great. The soundtrack was great with it, but I think besides the ending, like the music wasn't really what drove the film for me.
Yeah.
And One Battle After Another, I thought Johnny Greenwood's score drove that film for me with everything that was going on.
I would agree. That's absolutely correct.
So we're both going with One Battle After Another for our original score. Moving on, my friend. This is for the music original song. And the nominees are Dear Me by Diane Warren for Relentless. Music and lyrics were by Diane Warren. Golden, K-pop Demon Hunters. Music and lyrics by, I'm not going to say their names, but the K-pop Demon Hunters and Teddy Park. I don't want to butcher their names, but that one has been nominated. I Lied to You, Sinners. Music by Raphael Saadid, Ludwig Göransson. Sweet Dreams of Joy, Viva Viede. Music and lyrics by Nicholas Pike. Train Dreams, music by Nick Kerr and Bryce Dennison, lyrics by Nick Cave. Tone, which one are you going with in this?
I'm gonna go with. Ooh, this is a tough one, and if I'll go with, for my daughter's sake, I'm gonna go with the K-pop Demon Hunters. What I want to win is Sinners. I think though K-pop Demon Hunters might win, but we're gonna have to say. I want Sinners to win.
Yeah, I think K-pop Demon Hunters is gonna win. That's what I picked. I thought again, I Lied to You was a good song, but the K-pop Demon Hunters, that's kind of what drove everybody to that film, was the music.
Yeah.
So I have to go with the K-pop Demon Hunters for this as well. Train Dreams is actually a pretty good tune too. But for me, the K-pop Demon Hunters. My wife loves the music, so I go with my wife for that one.
Yeah, I mean it's caught on really, really big, and that's always huge,
Yeah, and now they're making a second one. Nick Cave sung "Cause Nick Cave." I never heard any of these.
Yeah, I mean Nick Cave's great. He does the song that's in like all the Scream movies, Little Red Hat or whatever that song. It's like in every single trailer. But I'm a big Nick Cave fan, and would go with him too. But you have to ask Magnificent Stan. You gotta watch K-pop Demon Hunters, dude. You might get hooked.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
It's vital.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous film. It's on Netflix, Stan. Tonight, after our show, watch it. All right, moving on to our next category.
All right.
actors in supporting role. So actress in a supporting role. We're going with this was a this was a tough one for me. The nominees are Ellie Fanning in Sentimental Value. We have Igna Abistater Yelagas for Sentimental Value. Amy Madigan for Weapons. Winmi Mosaku, I think, for Sinners, and Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another. Tone, who are you taking in this one?
You know what? I gotta go with Amy Madigan in Weapons. I think, first of all, I often think the award is more than some, and some people would get mad if I say this, but the award sometimes is more than just this movie. It's sometimes a whole career plus this awesome performance in movie. And I think this is a good time with a good performance in a movie that I really think she's a good backbone to what's going on. But also, though, it's one of those tough things because all the other ladies in this category do a really, really good job. Elle Fanning does a really great job. Tyriana Taylor does a great job in One Battle After Another. Amy Madigan, of course, as I just stated, is to me though the best.
So this one was tough for me because Tiana Taylor won the Golden Globe, and Amy Madigan lost that. I think Tiana Taylor also might have won the Spirit Award, but I thought both were excellent in their films, One Battle After Another and Weapons, respectively. I have to go with Amy Madigan because I just think, for one, Tiana Taylor, her character was great, but the limited screen time it had on the film, compared to Amy Madigan, who's more of a central character throughout the whole film that you've grown to hate, and then even the comedic value at the end kind of made me laugh. So I'm gonna run with Amy Madigan on that, just because I loved her in that role. I thought she was the best part about that film. For a film that was a horror film too, and I'm always a big supporter of horror films getting Oscar nominations.
Which is what's cool. I think it's interesting when a movie like that movie gets some kind of nominations. I wish it maybe could have even got, honestly, I could have seen it getting some.
Ooh, he froze right at the moment. They got him. They got him, ladies and gentlemen. Brian says,
Not for long though. They did not get me for long. For what? 2 seconds, I'm back.
Yeah, your face is like. Go ahead, continue what you're saying.
I was saying though that it's really awesome though that that Weapons could have also gotten nominated for like a screenplay possibly. But I'm glad. I think she gets this one.
Yeah, I think she was excellent. So good that, for one, she stole like everybody's Halloween costumes. Everybody was like her for Halloween, and the film did so well. They're making a prequel about just her character, which I thought was kind of cool. Brian says that Madigan wins just to make up for the Field of Dreams snub.
Who is Amy Madigan's husband in real life? Do you know?
Ooh, not the top of my head.
I'll give you a hint. He was in State of Grace.
Really? Ed Harris?
Yep. Who says he wants to be in this prequel that you brought up, like playing her husband or something, and you kind of imagine something really awesome. Hopefully he does the Dance and Creep show.
Wait. But she's supposed to be young, though.
I've heard some different things going on about whatever they're going to do. First, though, the director's doing this Resident Evil. And so when they talk about these movies and stuff, until they actually hit the production floor, that's when, you're like, okay, it's gonna happen. So, we'll wait and see.
I mean, I could get behind it if it's if it's not too far behind the Weapons. If it's like within the past 5 years, it'll make sense. But if it's like her being super young,
be like the 10 years that whatever led up to wherever she was staying with them or something like that.
Okay.
I'm not, again, if she wins, they probably go through with it next week. If she loses, that's how Hollywood works sometimes.
Yeah, that's how it works. But moving on, my friend. So we have an actor in a supporting role. Again, this is filled with a bunch of heavy hitters here. We have Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another. We have Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein. We have Delroy Lindo for Sinners. We have Sean Penn for One Battle After Another. And then we have Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. I can start this one off, Tone. I was so happy that Delroy Lindo got nominated for a Oscar. The man has had such a long career, and he's finally getting his flowers. I thought he was excellent in this film. Unfortunately for him, he's going up against a performance I thought was just magnificent. Even though I love Delroy Lindo, and he is an up-and-coming star, according to TMZ. But he was excellent in it. I have to go with my guy Benicio del Toro on this because his character in One Battle After Another was just phenomenal. Comedic, great timing. He gives you that Del Toro kind of weirdness with it. And it'll be nice for him to again be accommodated for his acting ability since Traffic.
Yeah, great performance. Tough. Delroy Lindo should have got nominated for Get Shorty. He was great.
Oh yes, he was really in it.
Just to play the opposite, because I think he did a great job, I'm going to go with Sean Penn. Because Sean Penn pays probably the biggest jag I've seen in a long time in film history. Like, the way he gets it at the end, you couldn't be happier for a character meeting his demise in the way he does. And I'm a big fan of, like, bad guys. That's my thing. And it's tough because, honestly, if you told me who do I like more, I love Benicio. Benicio, if he won, I would be equally as happy because Benicio's great. Benicio's like, I know you're going to hate when I use this comparison, but he's like Roy Hobbs, man. He just steps right in and hits a home run every single time.
Jesus.
I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. But you wouldn't be wrong with any of these picks. Pretty much south of Elordi. I just don't think he... Don't get me wrong. I liked Frankenstein, and I thought it was a fine film, and I'm a big fan of everything about it. I just don't think his performance garnered Best Supporting Actor to win category. But Stellan Skarsgård's a great actor, and he could win too. So,
he is. It's kind of funny that two of the actors nominated were in the Avengers films.
That's funny too.
But yes, answering a question in the chat, have I ever seen Delroy Lindo play Satchel Paige? Yeah, that's one of the films I watched him in, where he played Satchel Paige. And there was Josh Gibson and Jackie Robinson with the grandpa from not the grandpa, but Max from Lost Boys. He's the grandpa from Gilmore Girls. He's also in there, and he plays Branch Rickey.
Bernard Herrmann, I think is.
Yeah, he that's actually a great film. Oh, he wasn't Overboard. Yeah, that's a great film that was on HBO. I always watched that, and Conspiracy was always on HBO.
I've never seen that. I have to see that one.
Yeah, I forget the name of it, but he was excellent in that film. Also, I know him as the leader of the BGA, Bonafide from Blood In, Blood Out.
There you go.
But he's done. He was in Romeo Must Die with Jet Li, man. Yeah, not the grandpa, the head vampire, Max. But yeah, man, I've seen that film. But I get what you're saying about Sean Penn. He was great in that film. I just give the edge a little bit to the Benicio. I think, to be honest, just my personal thing, I guess, Sean Penn being that powerhouse actor, he gets his flowers all the time, so I kind of want Benicio to win. But if either of them win, I won't be upset.
That's true. Yeah. Well,
Miklo.
See.
The funny thing about that Miklo Verga from Damian Chapa is he's been playing that same role for the past like 30 years in different movies. He's never left it.
Oh man. It's so funny because you talk about the movie all the time, and we were 12 years old, and my buddy's mom let us pick a movie out at the movie store, and that's what we picked.
Oh my
And she
god.
let us sit there and watch it at 12 years old. And honestly, the movie ended and we looked at each other and I said, that movie was awesome. And that's all I remember. And, and then the movie stuck in my head forever. So it's cool that you like the movie too. That
Yeah.
should have been nominated. Damn it.
It was directed by an Oscar-winning director,
Yeah, that is true.
Taylor Hackford.
Yeah.
Except when he played Ken in Street Fighter. He was excellent as Ken in Street Fighter. What are you talking about? Moving on, my friend. For actress in a leading role, the nominees are Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue, Renette Renisiv, I hope I said her name right, for Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone for Begonia. Who you got in this one, Tone?
I just recently watched this movie and I actually enjoyed it. It's on HBO Max. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. I'm going to go with Rose Byrne. And also because she's married to my main man, Bobby Cannavale, who is just awesome as Gyp Rossi in Boardwalk Empire. But back to these category, it's a tough one because I loved Emma Stone in Begonia. I also Kate Hudson. She does a good job in Song Sung Blue. Hamnet, as you said, which is on Peacock right now, is really good. But I'm going to go with Rose Byrne, just because I like Rose Byrne.
Yeah, and I pronounced the name Brian. So I thought I was going to throw a curveball because I was actually going to go with her. I love that film. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Well, it's a kind of a crazy film, but I thought her performance was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she knocked it out of the park. I remember her from being in, Get Him to the Greek as Jackie O. She's more of a comedic person. She's also in, I think, with the movies they keep making the damn Insidious movies. Is it Insidious?
yeah.
Insidious movies. Yeah, she's in Insidious. Also, she's in the X-Men. She plays one of the FBI agent in the beginning, the first one, X-Men First Class.
That one movie where she's Seth Rogen's wife, Neighbors.
Yeah,
she's in those movies. Yeah.
She for a person to step out of character and do such a great job she did for this film. I thought she was excellent in it, and plus she, being married to Bobby Cannavale, it also doesn't hurt. He's actually in Bobby Cannavale. Is in that new series. It's a horrible series though. What's it called? Scarpetta.
Me and Katie watched the first episode last night. It's not the best. Yeah.
See, the reason I know about it is because my mom. There's two things you'll know about my mom. One, she loves horror. The second thing, anything with like English or Irish. She's always wanted to go to London. That's like her thing. She'll watch any show relating to it. And she kind of got into Scarpetta by reading the books about Scarpetta. So she wanted to check it out. And she always tells me, she'll watch the episode, and it's so bad, the show. Like, and she'll just say it's bad. But she's like that. She goes, Bobby Cannavale is the best actor in the show, and as Pete Marino. And she's like, he's the best. She goes, he's the closest character in the book. Like, she goes, he does him excellent. Everybody else sucks. And I'm like, well, why do you watch this? She's like, because I read the books.
That's what actually Katie thank you for letting me know, because I could let Katie know, because she really wants to read the books. So if your mom likes the books a lot, I'll tell Katie, and she's definitely going to read the books. And then she can see from that the characters are different from Jamie Lee Curtis plays. Oh, you know what you're going to love? You know who directed the first episode is the guy who did the last Halloween movies.
Oh, God.
David Gordon Green.
Yeah, that's probably why it blows.
Well, there you go. But it's Bobby, so that's why I watched
and Nicole Kidman's in it. I'm like, what? You have like an all-star, like
it's the script. And honestly, Amazon has this problem with where their shows, the filming of it, it looks like plastic. I don't know. I don't like the film lens that they're using, so it makes it even look worse.
Yeah, I the one thing I don't like is the going back and forth from the past to the present.
Well, that's bad too. That's a really bad idea.
In a book, it's good because it kind of gives you backstory, and a book is also longer length. I mean, in terms of building up what you want to build, but
Well, cheesy
I
in
don't
the
know.
show too. They
Yeah,
use
it's very
Bobby
cheesy.
Mandels's son. His son is like the flashback him. It's cheesy. That part's cheesy, but
Yeah,
again,
Brandy should talk to my mom if she's obsessed with English nonsense, dude. Like, my mom watches and stuff on Prime or Netflix, and I get recommendations from like English films, and it's ridiculous. Um, but yeah, I know we went off on a side rant there, but I'm going Rose Byrne. You're going Rose Byrne for actress in a leading role.
yes.
Moving on, my friend. Now we go to actor in a leading role, and we have nominees are Timothée Chalamet for Murray Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, and Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. I think all the momentum here has been building up for Michael B. Jordan. He played 2 roles for Smoke and Stack in Sinners, 2 different characters, 2 different personalities, which I thought he did a great job. I'm gonna have to go with him as the winner of this. I think it's just he's been getting so much like admiration and too much buildup. I can't see him losing this. Of course, the Oscars have done they screwed me over with the Lily Gladstones. But the thing is, I thought Emma Stone's performance in that movie wasn't as great. If they gave it to Timothée Chalamet or even Ethan Hawke in this, any of these actors actually did a great job. So it's a toss up, but if I had to nail down to one, it'd probably be Michael B. Jordan being my number 1 pick to get the first to get it. If he doesn't get it, I can see them going with DiCaprio or Chalamet to in the second. But I'm gonna say Michael B. Jordan takes home the Oscar for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree that I would hope that he would win because that performance is awesome. Probably my favorite out of all of them. Wagner Moura, though, does a really good job as the secret agent. I think
Mhm.
he's a really good actor. Um, I like a good a film like this one. It was shot really well. His performance was really good. So was Ethan Hawke's, though, in Blue Moon. Um, Leonardo DiCaprio, he's aces in this movie, but I got to go with Michael B. Jordan too.
Yeah, and I love that Ethan Hawke is kind of having like a resurrection of his career. He kind of had
Oh,
it with the Black Phone, and now he's getting to other stuff. That's he had the Black Phone Part 2, and now he's doing this. Um,
have you watched
Sinister.
part two yet?
No, it's on my list, but I
Oh,
will watch it. I'm still trying to get through the Fallout series,
yeah,
um,
good one too.
which I enjoy. I'm enjoying. I just have to find time to watch it. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna check out the Black Phone too. That's actually on my list to watch. Next movie to watch. Um, but yeah, I'm glad all these actors deserve it. I just think that the momentum and a lot of the buzz is behind Michael B. Jordan for this, and if he wins, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he that role isn't. It's never easy to play dual roles at all like that, and to have it filmed and not look stupid is even harder. So very, very admirable. So I hope he wins. Before we move on, Timothy Chalamet. I don't know if you heard the news this week. He kind of shot himself in the foot on his tour of the Oscars because he made a really disparaging comment about the opera, which upset the whole entire opera, including like Nathan Lane came out and really made some negative comments about Timothy Chalamet. I don't know why Chalamet would say something like that. Yeah, he hates opera. But he has a right to say those things. But when you get a backlash as bad as he's got, maybe sometimes you should just keep some of that's the problem with opinions. Some people should just keep them to themselves if they cause a backlash. I don't know if that's going to cause anything for the voting. I don't know how voting works in this, if the voting's already been done or whatnot. But I just thought it was interesting that he would make that kind of comment.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Um,
But
but looking at the Oscars, the Golden Globes here. First of all, Chalamet he's probably his decision making is probably skewed because he's dating a Jenner. But looking
I'm
at like the best performance by a male actor in a motion picture for drama, Wagner Moura actually took home the Oscar over Oscar Isaac. Michael B. Jordan, Jeremy Allen White, Dwayne Johnson, Joe Egerton for Train Dreams, which is
Shout out.
crazy. And Rose Byrne actually won for musical or comedy, which is crazy. Chalamet won for Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy. Tiana Taylor, of course, won for the Golden Globe, which was surprising to me, but happy. And then for any motion picture, Stellan Skarsgård won over Del Toro and Penn.
Interesting.
Yep, crazy stuff, man. Yeah, I don't know. You can't. I'm not a big fan of opera, but you can't. Like opera has such influence in society. It's, you know what I mean, the sad clown. Tony Soprano was a lover of the sad clown. You know? No, he's not going to turn to Shia LaBeouf. He's not going to fight people on Bourbon Street.
That guy.
Shia LaBeouf.
Go from holes to fighting people on the street.
Yeah. So he put a dent in there. Hopefully Michael B. Jordan comes through. We'll see.
Yeah.
Our next one, my friend. Oh, we got directing here. The nominees are Chloe Zhao for Hamnet. We have Marty Supreme director Josh Safdie. Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another. Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value. And Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Who you got in this one?
Ooh, this is really, 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 really tough. I mean, to me, it comes down to, for me, it's going to be Paul Thomas Anderson versus Ryan Coogler. You know, I'm going to go with, I'll go Coogler. I like to see Sinners clean house, because, you know, I think this is, I don't know how far a movie like Sinners will ever get again, and I would like to see it win as much as it can at this award show, because I think it's important for that style of film to be recognized for its importance and for how good it really is.
I agree, but I'm actually going to go with Chloe Zhao for Hamnet. I thought she was excellent.
I like that. I like that pick.
I think Coogler and Paul Thomas Anderson rightfully deserve to win. But I'm going Chloe Zhao as my sleeper pick because I just thought she was just awesome in that film. Brett Ratner got screwed. Well, don't associate with bad people thereafter.
Well, he Melania. He directed that movie. Shouldn't that have been nominated?
Did you see that TikTok of a show making fun of Melania?
No, I have not.
So there's a TikTok going on. I forget who it is. It's two guys talking on a podcast like ours, and they're saying how they ask Melania who her favorite artist is music-wise, and she's like, Michael Jackson. And then she sings Billie Jean in a really, really like heavy Russian accent. And the guy sings it on the podcast and it just cracks me up. But Melania, you know, that movie got a bunch of 99s on Rotten Tomatoes. When I went on Twitter, you know, there was some guy who kept saying that women were talking about Melania and how I'm like, I've never heard anybody talk about that film. Like, and I'm out in the city of Chicago, man. I mean, nobody's talking about that film to me ever. He's like, I just walked by two people who said that film was excellent, and I'm like, I highly doubt that.
It was funny this week. Jimmy Kimmel said it was a big year for vampire movies with Sinners and Melania coming out. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. But I always think of that line. I'm gonna get that quote. Michael Jackson.
Michael. I gotta look that up.
I'll just play it.
I just keep hitting the clip.
Yeah, but back to the directing. I really hope Chloe Zhao comes through. I thought Hamnet was very, very good. Like I said, I'm not a huge Shakespearean lover. I hate the books. I hate reading the books in college and in high school. But Hamnet was such an interesting story, and I thought she directed it beautifully. So I think she deserves the chance to win this. But like I said, if Ryan Coogler or Paul Thomas Anderson come through with it, I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I like your pick because I'm always for something new and fresh for a good, excellent movie, and, just the story of Hamnet itself is worth it, and she did a really good job at portraying that on the screen.
Maloney says, "I'm sorry, I'm late. Please start
Oh,
over."
let's go.
All right, let's start over
Rewind.
now. Like the Ace Ventura when he. Moving on to our next category, and this is the creme de la creme, I guess, the best picture. Let's hope that Warren Betty isn't doing the announcement and doesn't get it wrong. Uh, Nominees are Begonia, Ed Guinea and Andrew Lowe, Yorgos Lanthimos, Emma Stone, and Lars Knudsen as producers. F1, Chad Oben, Brad Pitt, Didi Gardner, Jeremy Kleiner, Joseph Kosinski, and Jeremy Bruckheimer as producers. Frankenstein with Guillermo del Toro, James Dale, and Scott Stuber as producers. Hamnet as Lisa Marshall, Pippa Harris, Nicholas Gonda, Steven Spielberg, and Sam Mendes. Marty Supreme, Eli Bush, Ronald Bronston, Josh Safdie, Anthony Katkatagas, and Timothy Chalamet as producers. One Battle After Another. Adam Somner, Sarah Murphy, and Paul Thomas Anderson. The Secret Agent, Ismail Leclerc for producer. I hope I said that correctly. Sentimental Value, Maria Echold and Andrea Bernstein Ottomer as producers. Sinners, Zinzi Kugler, Sev Anahan, and Ryan Coogler as producers. And Train Dreams for Marissa McMahon, Teddy Schwartzman, Will Janowitz, Ashley Schaeffler, and Michael Hemler for producers. Jesus Christ, those names are ridiculous. I can never do voiceover for the Oscars because I would destroy people's names. For me, this film comes down to two. This Best Picture comes down to two films. One is the Paul Thomas Anderson One Battle After Another, and the other is Sinners. Reason being, both films had so much momentum going in to the year. Both films had very strong performances at the box office. Not alone the streaming, so they have a lot. Both films are really, really good in their own way, dealt with different subjects. You know me, I'm always gonna lean the horror way, and I'm going Sinners because I love the fact that a horror film can win Best Picture. But both films were excellent, so it's a toss up. If you really want, if either of them win, I wouldn't be upset. But I'm going with Sinners for this one.
When's if I was just like, what movie I think was the best of the year? F1. Not nominated for any other category, and you just pick it here. Which not a bad movie, but that won't be my pick. It's tough. Those two, you're right. I mean, that's what it comes down to. As great as I love One Battle After Another, I thought it was an amazing movie. I think my favorite part of any movie last year is those last 5 minutes of Sinners. Because you don't really know what happens up in the barn to the one brother or whatever, and you just kind of like are left out and not thinking. And honestly, when it was over, before that scene in the bar, I thought the movie was over. And to see that scene, to kind of like have that kind of closure, I really, really like that a lot. And honestly, the movie itself, I thought, was filmed great. I thought the acting, I think Delroy Lindo deserves a lot. I don't think he's going to win, but he could and should in his own right. But he should win here, and everybody should win for this film.
Yeah. As Maloney says, One Battle was my favorite film. I think Sinners are going to take it. I would hope Sinners would take it, but again, if we want to go back and play, devil's advocate and look at the Golden Globes, and usually people say the Golden Globes is kind of like a precursor. Hamnet won for drama, beating out Sinners.
Yeah.
And One Battle After Another won for musical or comedy, beating out Marty Supreme, Blue Moon, Begonia. Those films. I don't even see F1 on here. Did it even get
Isn't that
nominated?
the second one? after Begonia, F1, Chad.
No, I don't see
Begonia.
it in the best musical or comedy. I don't see it there. I don't even see it in the
Oh,
best.
you mean on your? Oh, you're talking. I thought you meant at the Oscars here. I'm like, don't
No,
take
I'm
that one away from me.
no, I'm talking about the Oscar. I'm talking about the Golden Globes. I'm sorry, I was
No,
confusing.
no, F1 wasn't. That's when they started expanding this category. They threw in a couple like throw-ins in there.
Yeah, and it kind of takes away. See, and the thing is, the reason people were so upset about this was about the best pictures having such limited nominees was because they refused to acknowledge a animated film or a Marvel film. I'm not saying those films deserve some of those films deserve it, but you know you have to, like I say, it's kind of like the Scorsese saying, that's not cinema. I think anything that's on a big screen is cinema that you get people to go watch. And that was, made from like a person made it, thought of their mind and put to a screen. And that's what most people, these actors want to do. Like my favorite B movie actor, Bruce Campbell, talks about, him and Sam Raimi, when they got Evil Dead to show at their theater, that was the biggest thing in their lives. That was what they wanted, just to have it shown in their hometown theater. That's cinema, man. That's all about making movies. Is like that's what people that go through the hard work and do all these things get. The whole thing is to show their artwork and their love to people.
That is true.
And I think the Oscars kind of takes the win out of that by just throwing films up there just because it's got big names in it, like Brad Pitt. And was F1 a bad film? No, it wasn't a bad film. Does it deserve to be nominated for an Oscar and not be nominated for anything else, especially best picture? I don't think so.
No, I mean, in even last year, there was a really good. I really liked the Wild Robot on best. I think animated feature. That movie was good enough to take the place of another movie that I know got picked. I don't have the list right now, but there's always a movie that could be better. But you know what? That's what a lot of this is for these picks. I guess is there's a lot of politicking. And I could imagine that, the F1 creators did their best to get their movie picked, and they must have did really, really well.
Oh, of course, there's a lot of politics. I mean, that's how Shakespeare in Love got chosen over Saving Private Ryan because of Weinstein's.
That's well, what great men.
Yeah, I mean, shitty people, but I'm going hoping Sinners takes it. We'll see. So that's our Oscar picks. This is a shorter show than we usually do, but I kind of like these smaller shows because it gets us more to talk about. I'm going to admit with you, this is the first show I ever did without notes. Besides looking at my list of the only reason I had to look at my thing because the cursor was throwing me off a little bit. But I still horribly pronounce names without notes or with them, so it doesn't really matter. But I think the pinnacle of every actor's career is to win an Oscar or be recognized, and it's always a big, big night. I'm looking forward to watching it with Conan O'Brien. I'm looking forward to seeing how his tribute to Rob Reiner is with that tragedy. It's just going to be a cool thing. Oscar night's a big night, man. When I become a millionaire, or you become a millionaire, we should have Oscar parties.
We should. It's going to be they would be lit because we would know how to throw a good Oscar party.
For sure.
We would have, honestly, we definitely need chips and salsa and tacos. And I know we can make that happen.
Yes, sir. For sure. But any final thoughts on the Oscars, Stone?
No, just like you said, excited to see all those things, excited to see some of the musical performances. That's always cool to tune in. And honestly, I am a huge Conan O'Brien fan, and he always makes me laugh. And it's going to be a good time to watch that.
Yeah, I'm really happy he's hosting.
Yeah.
He deserves it, and he is hilarious. Let us know if we got any of these right on Sunday. Call us out on the social media apps. Before we get into the Sugar Baggy soundtrack pick of the week, Tone, for housekeeping, what's going on these James Bond show and the Hook Up on Music?
Hook Up on Music, we have been working all week. We've got everything all put together. We just need to put it up. And honestly, I want to just pick a day. Like, that's my goal. No more hopping. just the day that you know that the show will be released. And I'm pretty sure I want to roll with Saturday nights. Just so you know, always Saturday nights is when the show will be released, starting tomorrow night. And that's when, so when's it coming? Is it gonna come? When, where, when? So tune in tomorrow night. Got a lot of new albums to talk about. Have a guest lined up for the week of the 26th. So got that lined up. And then the James Bond show, we just did Casino Royale last night, which was awesome. And we'll be doing Quantum of Solace next week. And it sounds like Adam wants to do a Die Another Day Part 2 show where he goes on for even longer. Which, hey,
the Madonna song playing in the background.
We'll let the tape roll and he can go as long as he'd like. But we'll see how that goes. And he just did an article on Peaky Blinders, which, to be fair, I have never watched the show, but after reading his article, I really, really want to tune into that. And honestly, I've been thinking about an article you wrote not too long ago where you talked about the amazing band Rage Against the Machine. Mm-hmm. I have to send you, and when I read them, I'm going to send them to you because you're really good at like yelling at people online, and you should yell at some of these people. I read a lot of people who keep saying that they were fake. Their thought process was fake. They were a bunch of fake musicians. And honestly, Katie's probably getting annoyed because the last 2 weeks we probably watched like 5 whole Rage Against the Machine live concerts at full blast in the living room, just to get ourselves in the mood of what our country's been going through. And I know you love Rage, but I'll have to send you some of those. But go back and read some of your articles too, because you really show the love of some of this awesome stuff. But what do you got going on, my man?
I appreciate it, man. And I had to go private on Twitter to prevent myself from getting into arguments with stupid people.
That's the problem. I have really learned just to walk away. Go on.
So for me, my friend, I have been pretty busy with my own side thing right now, but I do have Frame for Frame with Cotton. We just did the Anaconda film. Speaking of blogs, I've been rattling around some ideas within my mind to do a blog on a couple of things related to Sadistic Penguin and movies that I've had that people don't talk about. So I don't want to spoil it, but I'll probably be putting out a blog this week once I nail down time to write it. I kind of have it in my head how I want it to go. But I'll put that out this week. Be sure. Oh, and also I am working on a At the Show shirt that I want to put at the sadisticpenguin.printify for us, because I noticed that we have the Sadistic Penguin Studios shirt. We have the Hook Up on Music stickers. I wanted to put something with us that gives us a little of our flavor to add there if you want to support the show that way. Besides that, check out statisticpenguin.printify.me to help out for all the show merch and studio merch there. If you want to check out some stuff I do, Penguin Imprints, which we have some like stuff in the
Libre shirt was awesome, dude.
Thank you, my friend. My Mexican friends kept pushing that for me.
Good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, I have a Lucha Libre shirt that came out. Also a Lowrider Chicago Lifestyle and a Chicago tee with the hot dog and pizza. I got some big things planned for that as well. Some irons are in the stove for that. But be sure to check out our stuff because I do have stuff dropping for the show, mostly show material than it is my brand. But yeah, man, I got a blog I want to do, and I got some ideas of some segments I want to add to our show. I know we talked about a couple that I want to get the ball rolling on those for the next couple of weeks. So I got some fun ideas for the At the Show podcast.
Awesome. Can't wait, my man.
Cool. But with that, enough of me rambling and saying and mispronouncing names, Tone. Let's get into one of my favorite segments, actually my favorite segment, which is the Sugar Baggies soundtrack pick of the week, my friend.
The Sugar Baggies soundtrack pick of the week.
Tonight, in honor of the Oscars, we're going to go. This could be a little bit of a versus here. Two soundtracks from 1975 and 1977. Both won for the soundtrack at the Oscars. And the movies were Star Wars and Jaws. Which one are you going to roll with here tonight? You think is more iconic, and which one do you enjoy more? Would they be the same answer?
Well, they're both by the same guy.
Yeah, well, that's what's crazy.
I'm going Jaws. I you know what? I don't like the Star Wars soundtrack.
Neither do I. But I didn't want to fight you here tonight. I didn't want you to be like Star Wars. And I was like, you didn't make a good choice, but you made a good choice here tonight.
I know that's blasphemy. Filoni's probably like, "Oh, this guy's a douche," but I love Jaws, man. I thought Star Wars, it's iconic, the sound, but Jaws just puts me in the feels, of that horror, that anticipation of something bad's gonna happen, and it goes so well with the shark. Like John Williams outdid himself in that one.
Which is hilarious because I'll be even really honest with you. I was so not paying attention when I put this together that you went, they're the same guy. And I went, shit, well, they are the same guy. I really overthought this one to the point where I didn't even think of who did each song. But you're right. And Jaws coming, honestly, just at I can't say that because Star Wars also, both movies were a big chance that was taken to see. Neither film was a sure success when it was being made. So both movies, John Williams really, honestly, that shows his talent, was that he put together iconic scores pretty much with a back against his wall. But I go with Jaws because, even today at school, I snuck in the Saturday Night Live sketch Land Shark, where they still use the Jaws theme. I mean, the Jaws theme is, I know Star Wars is iconic, but every beach, everyone every year does the Jaws theme. They have to at least 1,000 times.
Yeah.
It's fun and it's funny. I mean, Star Wars again is iconic, but there's a lot more to Star Wars theme than I think Jaws. Jaws is pretty cut and dry what people do, but that could just be my opinion too.
No, and I agree. I mean, Jaws is a summer blockbuster. And Star Wars made a $1 billion franchise. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just, to me, Star Wars is iconic, but Jaws is just, when it comes to like soundtrack or like a score that put me in the feels, it's always gonna be Jaws, because Jaws just played more into it. Star Wars did that majestic thing of the beginning of the opening scroll, but that got you ready for the film. Jaws kept you in the film, and like you knew something bad was gonna happen.
The only thing more iconic than the Jaws score or the Star Wars score is Jaws 4. No, just
What was Jaws like in Back to the Future? Like Jaws 8, he's bigger and back and meaner.
Like comes to this,
yeah, he eats them. But yeah, man, I gotta go with Jaws on this one.
Yeah, good pick. Well, thank you for answering.
Yes, sir. With that, that's our show for tonight. Before we sign off, I want to make a big shout out to our guy Cotton. He turned the ripo age of 50 this week. So happy birthday to Cotton. You don't look a day over 85. But no, it's our guy Cotton. Appreciate him for all the stuff he does with us. So if you see Cotton, I don't know if he's on Blue Sky, as Cube's fan. So if you're on Blue Sky, wish him a happy birthday. Good dude.
He is. Every time had a laugh riot with him.
But with that, though, we are going to sign off for the evening. We will be back in a couple weeks to go over the results and some fun movie talk. Anything to say, Tone, before we're out of here, man?
Before we roll out, I forgot to say, too, I believe he said here before we go here, hold on, it is going to be the 24th Magnificent Stan will be back with It's Getting Drafty in here.
Nice.
After you tune in, I believe Mailman Jack will be on there talking about side ones of albums.
Ooh.
So that should be interesting. Please tune in. And with that, that's what we got.
And with that, have a good night. Thanks for listening, watching, and chatting along.
Good night.
See you next time.
Thanks for listening to the At the Show podcast, a Sadistic Penguin Studios production.
Game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?